Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Command Center, where we like to put our favorite commander, maybe even yours, front and center. And you know we can't do it unless we play those three web-slinging letters, EDH. What does it stand for today, Hadoken?
Effortlessly devouring happiness. That's right. I'm feeling a certain way today, people. I'm feeling good. That's right. And if you don't like it, you can suck it. That's right. Spider-Man is on his way. Da-na-na, da-na-na. And you know what? Your boys right now is Neo. I am the one because I have prophesied, nay, foreseen what was coming in this set before you heathens even took your first breath. But before we go down this Central Park Avenue with our web slinging, what we talking about today, Derek?
That's a good question. I thought we were talking about Batman, or maybe some X-Men, but no. Apparently, there's a fellow that turned into a spider, and we're gonna learn more about this. Is it Pete Parkey?
Don't make
Pete
me.
Parker?
I will kick you
So
in your
something like that.
I will kick you in your nuts.
Who was Peter?
Hard.
Who was Peter Parker?
I will kick both of y'all.
I don't know.
I will kick both of y'all in y'all testicles so hard that your nuts will be your new ears. Don't you try me today. Today is a special day. It is a holy day, okay? Because the set has come out and it is everything that I wanted and more.
So
is
that's
this,
really
this comment? Is this Common Writer?
Where you? Well, I'm gonna be at your house in 2 seconds. Don't y'all wait right there, and Derek. I'm gonna fly to you. It's gonna take me like 4 hours to get over there.
It's the only way I can get your ass to fly to Phoenix. I just gotta keep insulting you.
All right.
so-
So today,
Yeah.
we want to jump into the second part of the spoiler season of Spider-Man, Spiderman, Mr. Peter Porker set that is coming out within the next couple of weeks, actually, of this video releasing. But yeah, apparently the full set has been released now, so we want to just kind of give our impressions of the next half. The first half, I think we were generally just okay with. It was like we're okay with what we're seeing here. I felt like things were kind of just thrown at us real fast and furiously, but it was like, here, take your Spider-Man, damn. And we found some things that we were satisfied with. And then before we ended the episode, I can't remember if this was on camera or off camera, but Ken was Ken definitely gave a list of things that he wanted to see that needs to be in the next half of the release. And I think we got pretty much all of them. So what are we excited to talk about first?
So I'll kind of jump in, and this will be interesting because I think we're basically getting the two opposite ends of the spectrum of somebody like me that has the most basic, minimal knowledge of Spider-Man comics. Like my knowledge comes from just watching the movies growing up versus Ken, who can literally, and I've seen it, speak for 12 hours straight on Spider-Man comics with no sleeping, minimal eating, and probably 2 breaths in between. So we get kind of both ends of the spectrum, which I feel like are basically both being Magic fans, interesting to see how we each react to it. Because I was kind of negative in the first video, and it's interesting, like getting the full set. I have such mixed, like the highs and lows for me as like a world and everything. It just, for me, again, it doesn't feel like it fits into Magic. It doesn't feel fantasy. It's weird seeing New York City and bagels and all that type of stuff on cards. But then at the same time, I'm a huge hypocrite because then I read a couple of these and I'm like, okay, yes, this is amazing. I love this. Why would I ever be negative? But I think it's just one of those things that's not for me. And we were talking about it coming into this where like, I feel like more than other universes beyond sets, like the characters and the things depicted in these cards, Ken had said it too, there's some deep dives. So for people who are just like deeply casual like myself, it's not really for me. But the people like Ken, I'm gonna let you gush because this is all about you right now.
You know, people who don't get it. That's what I got to say about that. I had to sit there and I had to eat the Final Fantasy trash. I had to sit there and swallow the Assassin's Creed garbage. Oh my God, it's a jellyfish. Shut up. This ain't for you. It's for me.
So based on it sounds like you hate it, Ken. It sounds like this is just it sounds like this is the worst set ever. You're quitting Magic is what I'm gathering.
To quote Dave Chappelle playing Rick James, it's a celebration, bitches, because I'm telling you right now, I love me some Spolderman. You know, I'm a huge X-Men fan, DC, you know, Batman, all that good stuff too. But I love comic books, and I know this takes people out of the illusion of fictitiousness. I get it. I'm not even going to shit on what you believe. God bless you. I understand it takes you out of the fantasy. But for me, this is where I live. This is where my bread is buttered, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the incidental stuff. Or do you want to start there?
Well, I was going to say, so that kind of answered my question for you of how you feel about this set as a whole. I want to go over to Sed real quick, though. Like, are you in the middle of us? Because like I said, I'm kind of like, it's a set, but there's some cool cards. Ken sounds like he's going to build a house out of Spider-Man cards.
Wait,
and
hold
just
up. Wait.
make a web hammock and live.
I need you to shut up because first I'm going to build 2 decks. First, I'm going to build a neighborhood Spider-Man deck, which I'm going to take Doctor Strange and all the other Marvel cards and put them in. And I'm going to build a friendly neighborhood spider because in the comic books and in New York City, especially in the comics, Spider-Man would constantly run into other superheroes. So every superhero I can find is going in the deck. And then I'm going to build a multiverse Spider-Man deck too. So 2 of them. 2.
Again, he hates it. Can't stand this set. It's wild. Stop being so negative, Ken. Sed, how are you feeling overall now that we have more of a full scope of what the set actually is?
Well, apparently I can never be the number one Spider-Man fan in the room, so I'll just keep quiet. But I'll keep you somewhere confused in the middle, where it's like maybe I'm a fan, maybe I'm not. Maybe I call him a Arachna kid. Maybe he's a spider dude. Maybe I know nothing about comics at all. But
not the Omen Paths version. Y'all saw the Omen Path version, so that's like the arena cards that they have to make for like it's like mutant spider dude, and it's the literal giant spider. It's actually very funny. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, but overall, I'm somewhere in the middle. I think I want more from the. I wanted more fanfare. I wanted this to get the Final Fantasy treatment. I wanted this to. I felt like the few Marvel Secret Lair cards that came out a while ago. I think they were Secret Lair. The Black Panther, the Storm, and X-Men. I felt like they got more fanfare than what Spider-Man is gonna get or is currently getting. Like, granted, it has its fans, but it felt like Marvel. Felt like Magic is just trying to get this out and get through it, and like here's your Spider-Man. So I just wanted a little bit more better presentation and maybe even some commander decks from this, because a lot of these cards I feel like could have just been in commander decks. But it's neither here neither there. But I'm glad to see a lot of these cards showing up, and I do see a few potential decks that I want to build from this too.
I will just to bounce off of that. I do strong agree as an outsider to Spider-Man for the most part. That's what I appreciated about Doctor Who and Warhammer as things that I didn't know anything about. I liked getting it because they're going to be deep dives and stuff. I almost preferred getting a commander deck because it was like telling me a story within it, to where I can get this pre-made thing and get a story out of it. Like, this is spider villains, this is multiverse deck, this is, base Spider-Man, whatever it is. And I think if those were precons, for people on the outside looking in, whereas a lot of these cards I'm going to skip over, it would have been more tempting to be like, ooh, I can get this deck and learn about all of this stuff together. I don't know if that even makes sense, but that's how my brain works, where it feels like they would have been packaged better as precons versus this, where I feel like it's more for like hardcore fans to dive in and just explore on their own.
Yeah, and that's overall, and that's what I'm getting at, is that this is like I'm thinking about like Warhammer. Like, I knew nothing about Warhammer going in, but I could tell from the precons that there was some type of story. There were factions. There were good guys. There were, maybe nobody's a good guy, but there were different groups of people that to root for. And there's a lack of cohesion with this. Like, yes, we have villains, but like I was hoping maybe we got a villain deck or a villain precon or something like that, or do the villains. Yeah, Sinister Six deck, like that would have been dope. But it is what it is. It's open to interpretation.
Yeah, I do want to give us a shout out, and mainly Ken, but we did call, so we like a lot of the stuff like directly, like you were saying, we were talking about a flip Eddie Brock that we saw. We kind of got teased that Norman Osborn existed. You had mentioned stuff about the Sinister Six, about J. Jonah Jameson, which didn't get previewed until the day after we recorded. Because there's just so many things that it really did feel like it was just Spider Dump the first day. Here's 60 Spider-Men. Everyone's going to be confused. And then everything else is coming in part 2. And it's funny. I wonder how much my thoughts would be different if they did the reverse order. And that first dump was like all the cool, crazy stuff. And then I would have just ignored the second dump, and I don't know. It's interesting. Let's talk about some cards though, because there's so many cards. I know we'll start with. Let's pick a legend. There's plenty of legendary creatures. If we each had to pick our favorite legend from this set, Ken, I'm gonna let you talk about as many legends as you want. You're not limited. You've been waiting for this for I don't know how long, so we'll pause and let you talk about as many as you want. But Seth and I, let's each pick our favorite legend so far because it's some good stuff. Ken, should I just let you go? Yeah, let me just let you go.
Let's kick the goddamn gate wide open. I just saw this card today. Morlun. And one reason I'm choosing Morlun is because one, I never thought we was gonna get this card because this is relatively recent, I would say. Here there. Anyway, Morlun. Hold on, let me go to this card because Morlun, who craps yourself, who makes spiders piss on themselves. So the reason why I like Morlun, comic book wise, I'll do this real quick. There's an entity that goes through universe killing spider totems. His name is Morlun. He hits the 616 and Spider-Man Spider Sense freaks the hell out to the point where it makes him run and hide. It's like, you cannot touch this man. As a matter of fact, his Spider Sense turns to piss and he leaves a trail. And he's like, you got to stop peeing, Spider-Man, because that's how he gonna find you. He makes him run and hide because he's like, you do not want these hands. I'm telling you, I love this character because this was just an overbearing, oppressive villain. And the card does the same thing. Let me tell you what he does. Legendary mono black, 2 black and X. It's a legendary vampire creature. I swear, Mobius wishes he can be on this level. Morbius wishes he can touch Morbius wishes he can wipe his butt. Lifelink. He comes in with X11 counters on him and then does X damage to target opponent, just straight to the face. Automatic murder. Now you got your Cabal Coughlers, you got your Crypto of Rice, you got your Crypt Gas out there that can double all your mana and stuff there too. So you can basically one-shot people if you feel like it and gain the life if you want to. Not only that, you do have the ones that says the cards out there that says when you gain life, people lose life too. So this is literally a win condition on a card. Who's next?
So I was definitely looking forward to Craven. I was a little disappointed. I'm looking through. I don't see a Jund Craven. I just felt like Jund just would have been right. But I'll take a 3-drop, 1 green and black Craven the Hunter, human warrior villain for 3 with trample. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power among creatures that player controls dies, draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on Craven the Hunter. Plenty of effects in black to make people sacrifice the strongest creature they control, or you can just target destroy those things. So he gets bigger. He's a slower, more steady Kresh from back in the day. That's why I was kind of missing the Jund. I felt like, but he's a guy who can get bigger with the more kills that he makes and the more kills that you make. And I just felt like this was a pretty good flavor for this card and something to be a little bit very control-y and also stumpy at the same time. Control-y and aggro.
I was gonna say Craven looks like either he's cosplaying Garrick or Garrick is cosplaying him, and I don't know which one. All right, you got it, Ken.
The answer is yes. You should have said Hydro Man, Fluid Felon. I'm gonna tell you why? Because this looks like it's gonna be beastie in not only Commander but lesser format. Let me tell you what he does. He's 2 blue. Whenever you cast a blue spell, you put a counter on Hydro Man, and then it gets 1/1 until the end of it becomes a creature and gets 1/1 until the end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, you untap him, he becomes a land. Your commander protects itself. Your creature protects itself by becoming a land. Want some? Get some. And then you can storm off and kill people. This set is stupid.
Hydro Man definitely sounds like when you have if you're like my 6-year-old self invented a superhero, it would be like, I am Hydro Man. I turn into water. It seems I did not know. Is he basically like the Sandman, just water?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly.
Look at me. Okay, Ken, before I pick my card, I want you to talk about one because I don't know what it is, and I'm very curious. Mr. Negative. Can I hear something?
That's my pick.
Oh shit, my bad. Said, what's your next favorite card? We don't know. It's a mystery. Ooh, what could it be? Whatever could it be?
But you've seen Mr. Negative before, especially if you've seen the Spider-Verse.
Mr. Negative hasn't shown up yet in Spider-Verse.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But I want to know, Said, talk about why you like the card, and then Ken, tell me who in the world this person is with the sword.
All right, so Mr. Negative was actually rumored to be the next villain in the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4 movie, but that may or may not be happening. Rumors right now, but Mr. Negative can basically turn people's emotions into negative emotions, and they act on those negative impulses and whatnot. So he pretty much just dampens the room. But essentially, I'm digging this ability as far as the cost is crazy. This is like old school Kaya. Not Kaya. This was Tesa, one of Tesa Karloff versions, like a 7-drop 5 with the Orzhov cost. But as Vigilance Lifelink, when Mr. Negative enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw that many cards. So you can, if I'm reading this correctly, first of all, it says when he enters, you can exchange life totals with target opponent. So you can, of course, just drain yourself using various activated abilities, pay life effects, or just give up life for whatever reason effects, and then get this guy onto the battlefield. You don't even have to cast it. He just has to enter. And then you can exchange life totals. But this says if you lose life this way, meaning if you exchange life totals with someone, I guess, who has a lower life total, then you can draw cards equal to the difference. And that's crazy, right? I'm reading that right?
Well, yeah. If somebody has a greater life than you, so if you swap and someone has more life than you, so you go down in life, you get to draw cards. Holy, yeah. And then this is in white, so you can just flicker this.
You could just, if you go the other direction, you can just mess someone's day up.
So wait, you could literally, if let's say like you're at a really low life total and someone's at a high life total, you could swap, draw 1 million cards, flicker it, and then put them down to your low life total.
Well, no. In order for you to draw a card, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
give them the low life total.
Yeah, so if you go to like, if you manage to get somebody down in life, and if you have like 40 life and someone's at like 5, you can like exchange life, go down to 5 life, draw 1 million cards, flicker it, put them right back to that awful life total they were at, or even better, because it just says 2 target players exchange life totals. If there's someone who's harmless at 5 life and you're at 40, you swap. Give the harmless player a bunch of life, draw 1 million cards, and then flicker it, and then give the real problem 5 life. This card is, oh my, because these effects are always in mono black. The fact that you get like white flicker effects, oh my gosh. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. You can be very strategic about who gets what, and if you want to draw cards, you can. If you want to mess with people's life totals, you can. I thought maybe this card would have dealt with creatures, kind of like gold effects or something like that, but I love that this is messing with life totals. I didn't see that coming.
Ken, do you have any thoughts about the character? Because I am curious now.
I think he's mostly a Shang-Chi. I know he's inspired in the Spider-Man universe too, but he does have the ability to heal and also like mind control and a bunch of stuff too. As a matter of fact, he's the one who kind of helped create an anti-venom. He I think removes the cancerous cells from Eddie Brock, and they end up creating anti-venom. So I'm not huge into the lore on him, but I do remember that he was like an immigrant. I believe his name was like Martin Lee or something like that.
That is one of the coolest designs. I only half read the card prior to you mentioning it. I kind of just saw the art and it was confused.
And whenever he switches to his alter ego, I think everything about him changes. Everything about his character and his complexion changes as well. His hair color and everything.
It just inverts.
Yeah, it just inverts.
That again sounds like a concept of like a 5-year-old would come up with, but somehow ends up being the coolest idea of like a villain. I bet that is awesome. Okay, I'll jump to my pick, I guess, and then we'll throw it back to Ken again. Mine was super easy. I only have one card I want to talk about. Like I said, I'm a major casual. I know very little. The only character in really any comic book for the most part I know cared about growing up was the Green Goblin. I had every Green Goblin action figure. I used to love, my favorite ride growing up was Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure because I was too afraid of actual roller coasters, and I used to love when he throw little things and then a little fire pops up on it. Yes. Green Goblin is the only character that I cared or knew anything about. And I love me some Willem Dafoe. So yes, Norman Osborn with the Green Goblin on the backside. Just found out that you can actually cast either side. This isn't necessarily a transform card in that sense. You can actually pick and choose, which is super cool. So you can get Norman Osborn out early to set up or just save it for the Green Goblin thing. I love wheel decks. I love discard decks. I love graveyard decks. the art on this is perfect. It seems it's going to be absurdly powerful because if you build it as a storm deck, you're just gonna destroy people with it. Oh, the design's great. I love everything about this card. Like it is. I'm very, very excited for, because I was hoping that was my only hope for this set, was that the Green Goblin was in some way playable or exciting, and I got way more than I could have ever hoped for. I mean, dude, look, the front art on this, where you have Norman Osborn staring down at the table with like the Green Goblin and just fire behind him. My dumbass can appreciate that. So if I can appreciate some comic art, I know everyone who actually cares about this stuff has to be losing their mind, because oh my gosh, it's perfect.
If you got to, of course, put that with the pumpkin bombardment card, because the art on that one is just disgusting. I love it.
Oh, and that's the other cool thing, is there's so many, like there's Shadow of the Goblin, and then there's the Hobgoblin that synergizes with it, and then there's like the Goblin grenade things or the pumpkin bombs that synergize, and you have a glider card. Like there's so many things built in that are just straight up like build your own Green Goblin deck. Here you go, you have everything. That it's just like every negative feeling I had felt like it just disappeared out of me, and I became like a 12-year-old again, just like seeing all of this and putting all this together. Like I was losing my mind. So yes, I'm just gonna go sit in the corner with my Green Goblin and be happy. Ken, do you have any other legends you want to shout out?
Do. All right, this came from the movies, but I still love it. Lady Octopus Inspired Inventor. First of all, it's one blue, legendary human scientist villain. Don't know why it's not an octopus as well, but I'm going to let that go. Whenever you draw your first or second card each turn, put an ingenuity counter on Lady Octopus. Tap, you may cast an artifact spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the number of ingenuity counters on Lady Octopus without paying its mana cost. I need all of us to look. I need you to look at me. I need you to look at me. I thought Urza was broken, and it is. It really is. But this right here can get downright disgusting, because on turn 1, I'm going to cast this. On turn 2, I'm going to play something, I don't know, like a brain. What's the thing called? Brain something?
Brainstorm,
and we're going to do it. And we're going to draw, and we're going to put 2 counters on this, and then we're going to proliferate. We're going to do a bunch of stuff to make sure we cheat out a bunch of artifacts. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get gross.
Oh my God.
Oh, and by the way,
each turn.
It says on each turn, so I can do stuff. Especially I'll play Temple Bell, and I'll play this, and I'll play that, and I'll make stuff. So Wedding Ring, and when you draw, I draw, and then it'll be like, okay, counter, and even though I don't play this because I'm not a heathen, Blight Steel,
There's oh my gosh, and there's that card set. I apologize in advance for I forgot what it's called. But it's the enchantment that you skip your draw step and you draw when target opponent draws. You basically enchant that player.
Yes, Psychic Possession.
Oh,
there we go.
Right, no.
That one.
I got you beat. Ristic Study.
Man, get that. No,
that game changer out of here.
That word will not be. We do not use slurs on this podcast. Get Ristic Study out of here. You gotta wash my mouth out with soap after that. You cootie queen. You lint liquor. Okay. Yeah. No Ristic Study mentions. I'm just gonna.
The mono blue commanders came to play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's nice. I want to talk about a mono green commander. That's
you might be looking at the same one I am, because I was literally just about to go to mono green. Is it cost 3 mana?
No. It costs 4 mana.
Okay. This is another one.
I want to talk real quick about a very simple commander. This is Lizard Connor's Curse, 2 and 2 green. Lizard villain trample. When Lizard Connor's Curse enters, up to one other target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard creature with base power and toughness 4/4. So basically, he's a 5/5 lizard that's always going to stand on top. But when he enters, he Okos your one other target into becoming a 4/4 lizard. And I think it would just be kind of fun and funny to just have like a green flicker deck. Just keep bouncing him in and out and turning all your opponent's creatures into lizards, because that's something a lizard would do.
Ken's gonna have 5 copies of this in every deck. Forget just running it in every deck. Somehow he's gonna have 7. Forget legend rules. Forget commander rules.
He gonna do like a blue green. Just keep cloning lizards, and all his lizard clones make other things into lizards.
Everyone's boards are 4/4s with no effects. We've just spoiled the next Ken's next build.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying I've already done it.
It's sleeved behind him. I want to call one more out. Yeah, because you mentioned green. And I first read this card and was like, oh, it's whatever. And then like I actually looked at the card and I was like, it's not interesting, but it's busted. Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. I called out the Sandman earlier. It's 3 mana for a star. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Now there's other text on this we have to get into, but just like every other card that's power toughness equal to lands is usually like 5 or 6 mana normally. Like we have Multanis, and then like the bear is like 6 mana. Like they're all relatively, so 3 is insane. But then also Sandman can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So you cannot chump this thing with your little creatures. You got to throw your important stuff in front of it. And then just for shits and gigs, you can pay 5 mana, return this card and target land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So whatever, if it gets killed 5 mana, you get to get this back and ramp, just because why not? It's green. Like this, again, every time I read it, at first I was like, this is not that good. Wait, this seems a little good. Why is this card so good? This card is good. And now I'm just like to the point where, I mean, there's plenty of mono green things that stomp, but this is silly. Like the fact that killing it doesn't matter. And the crazy thing is that 5 mana ability, it's not at sorcery speed. When I first saw it, I assumed, of course, this is at sorcery speed. No, you can just return it and target land, graveyard, battlefield tapped on the end step before your turn, get like pseudo haste. So it's basically, it's dead. Oh, it's back. I ramped. It untaps. It gets to swing immediately. So if you don't have graveyard hate, this thing is just never ending. And obviously, oh, you're in green. You probably have trample. It's insane. Like this thing is just such a busted effect, in like, especially in a stompy pod. Like this is ridiculous. Like Ken doesn't care about it because he runs 75 pieces of graveyard hate. He is prepared. This thing will be an elk, and the graveyard will be exiled before you even finish saying Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. But damn, is this card strong.
I think Electro should have been an elemental as well. I know he mostly is in human form, but he's living in electricity. He could have been an elemental.
They gave a Shriek. I'm happy.
I was watching Shriek earlier. Donkey was cracking me up. Puss in Boots coughed up a hairball. Let's move on to, let's each pick. We've talked about some of our favorite legends, like, and there's a lot. Like that's one of the things that I mentioned like at the start. Like these, they killed it. Like the top end of these legends have like really cool designs, and I mean we didn't even get into Peter Parker, the flip Peter Parker with Spider-Man. We didn't even talk about most of the flip cards. Eddie Brock and Venom. Like there are so many cool legendary creatures, but if we could each pick one non-legendary creature, just one card in the 99 in this set that is either like speaks to us or we just think is ridiculous, which one would we pick?
Go first. First.
Go before. And I think I know which one you're picking because I have one picked out as your card as a bonus.
I want to talk about Parker's Luck. This is a 2 and a black enchantment. It says at the beginning of your end step, 2 target players each reveal the top card of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player. Then each player puts the card revealed into their hand. So this is Keen Duelist, but on an enchantment, and it happens at your end step this time. So you don't even have to choose yourself. You can just choose any 2 target players, but I mean, might as well choose yourself. So just the fact that this is on an enchantment now and not just on a body, I think that's something that can definitely help with Mr. Negative and bringing his life total down.
And it's only 3 mana. I love the ability, and it, obviously like you like effects like this of just being able, the fact that you get to pick 2 players and it can be yourself or it doesn't have to be. So if you just see any 2
players. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool as hell. Ken, do you have one?
I do.
Lined up.
There's a bunch of cards in here. First of all, I'm glad that Rest in Peace is with Ben Parker's. Honestly, it should have been like the scene with Ben Parker dying on the sidewalk on a dirty, filthy, rat-infested New York street with piss and stale pizza cheese, and his feet should be face first as you know, a rat crawled over his lifeless corpse and took a deuce. But nah, one of the
And then you see in the back of the corner, R. Kelly singing "Gotham City" from that Batman movie because it's just that gritty.
but there's two cards in particular I want to talk about with great power. It's an enchantment. You enchant creature you control. Enchant creature gets 2/2, and all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature this time. Is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Brass Taunter and what's the other one? Stuffy Doll are the one that come to mind that I would greatly enchant. Swing at me as you will. As a matter of fact, I would actually force combat and force you to swing at me with this out. And the other card I would like to bring up is actually a land. It's called Urban Retreat. You pay 2, you return tap creature you control to its owner's hand, and then you put this card from your hand onto the battlefield. So basically, you'll pay 2, pick up a card from the battlefield, a creature from the battlefield, and put this land in the play tapped.
Oh my god.
Oh, and I also love the fact that it looks like it might be either. I don't know. At first, I thought this was Miles's room, but it looks like it's Peter's room based on the costume. So this is when he's off, when he leaves Aunt May's house, and he's off on his own.
That seems silly. It's just free, not free ramp, but it's like a 2-mana ramp spell. With and you're in Bant, you want to bounce your creatures. That is silly. I love both Urban Retreat and Oscorp. I really like as ways to like they built these lands specifically for the 3-mana commanders as ways to synergize with their decks. And also like we talked about this in the first video, wanting more world building. Like that's it. You get to play Spider-Man, here's his room. You get to play Norman Osborn, here's his building. Like yeah.
Oh, and they also have
I have
sorry.
No, you got it. Do you have any more? Because, like I said, I free reign to rant as long as you want.
Prison.
This one might be crazy. Web of Life and Destiny. This green enchantment. It's an 8-drop, 6 and 2 green, but it has Convoke, and it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Rest on the bottom in a random order. So this is just a like a lurking predator type. Just here, go dig 5 creatures and go throw one onto the battlefield. Like what are we doing here? What is that?
That is silly. I love, and especially that's
great hinge level of absurdness right now. Maybe not that level.
Ken, you were gonna mention Prison Break. That's the comic where the dude tattoos himself with the prison plans, right?
And at the end of every episode, he goes, "We got to make a prison break."
It looks straight into the camera. We have to make a prison break. That's right, Ken. Right?
I will find you. I will find where you live. But the reason why I like first of all, let me read the card. So Prison Break is pretty much, it says return creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter. It also has a madness cost. You know, this does a lot of resurrection stuff. There's plenty of them out there. The reason why I like it is because it shows the first image that I've seen of the Raft. The Raft is pretty much the super max prison, super villain prison. And one of the comic book arcs was the breakout when the villains broke out from the Raft. And in addition, I saw a card on here that I was like, it speaks to me. It's Maximum Carnage. It's an enchant. First of all, I love the panel, how the sagas are made in the comic book panels. I just want one of them. I don't care which one it is, but if I had to choose, I would definitely choose Maximum Carnage because that is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories, especially when my boy Sentry gets his hands on Carnage, and it's like, ooh, we know what's coming.
I do love the comic panel art, especially like you mentioned, specifically for Maximum Carnage, looks so good. I mean, even the regular art on that looks cool, but that's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna pick one. I'm actually gonna call out the card. So this is the card I thought you were gonna mention, because it's a weird version of it. Almost is named my favorite card and copies the effect of one of your favorite cards. It's Villainous Wrath. So Villainous Wrath is 3 black for a board wipe. What it says is target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, then destroy all creatures. So if you find the person who's just popping off with 1 million creatures, first you dome them for 1 million and then say, also, your board's gone. It's like a Rakdos charm with an additional middle finger stapled onto it. That's just...
the Shriek Troublemaker card in here does a similar thing. The bottom half of the ability says that whenever a creature an opponent control dies, Shriek deals 1 damage to that player. So it's like, oh, you popping off over there. I see you like to accumulate a board state. Lose life equal to all of that. And with Shriek on the board, lose it twice.
Oh, sorry. One addendum. Sorry, because I know somebody's gonna call me out on this. Sorry. Maximum Carnage is when Venom and Spider-Man link up. New Avengers, I believe, is when you see the Sentry rip Carnage in half. Because I know somebody going on the internet is gonna be like, "Hey, my God, you got it wrong." Shut up. I know. But the New Avengers is when the Braff break out, when the heroes break out the Wrath, and then Carnage is going haywire and Buck Nasty and Buck Wild, pulling his diggling out on trains, and Sentry goes, "Come here. Space, no, chill out."
Yeah, definitely don't pull out dinglings in space. Then I can't believe you made that mistake.
They hear you scream.
That's where they hear you scream, and there's something with dripping. I'm gonna call it one more card. It is a legendary creature, but for Into the 99 specifically, again, just like almost like a random uncommon that is just so busted. Hobgoblin. I mentioned the Hobgoblin earlier. Again, brewing this Green Goblin deck. It's a 2-mana 1/2 flying haste, and whenever you discard a card, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So if you have a full hand and you wheel, it's getting +14/+0. Am I reading that? Like, that's 2 mana with haste. That if you spend 5 mana, you just hit somebody for 15 in the air. I think I'm reading that right.
Yeah, Hobgoblin is kind of nasty.
Oh my gosh!
I know there's been a bunch of people who wore that mantle, but Harry was Hobgoblin at one point, wasn't he?
That's my
I don't
understanding.
remember Harry being Hobgoblin because Hobgoblin was also like just mad at the Osborns, especially his dad. So
wasn't it at least talked about?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure his entire story with the Osborns.
I think in the Sam Raimi movies, I think there was like a rumor and it didn't end up happening. I remember at the time I thought that they were going to make Harry the Hobgoblin for those movies, and it never ended up happening. Well, was that not a thing?
He became the Green Goblin.
That's what I mean. Like I remember before the movie though, there being like rumors that he would be the Hobgoblin. Like, they were going to do something to turn it, and it just never ended up working out like that. Because I remember at the time, like, I was always super intrigued by the Hobgoblin because I thought the Green Goblin was cool, and I thought, oh, they're going to bring him in the movie, and then it was just like rumors. It never actually ended up becoming a thing. He was just the Green Goblin in a different getup.
Then there's some versions of the Hobgoblin where he has magic, but I think that's other universe versions.
Because technically the Hobgoblin, because he uses like chaos magic or something like that. But originally, the original Hobgoblin worked actually for the Daily Bugle.
Was it J? Oh my gosh, I was J. Jonah Jameson this whole time. I should have known he was the Hobgoblin. We've solved the mystery. We investigated, as this set should have been doing. All right, we're getting about on time here. Wait, Ken, I'm gonna throw it to you again. Do you have any closing thoughts on the set as a whole? We're probably gonna be talking about the set again soon, just because obviously we have a lot to say. But do you have any kind of closing thoughts about getting to see this set as a whole? Because I do love seeing your reaction to it and getting to dive more into these cards and just asking you endless questions.
One, I do love the lands and the set pieces. I think they have the Central Park lands. They have the ferry boat from the movie. The passenger ferry land artifact on there. I do love those. I think the spider suit is a flavor fail because it should give you reach. I'm not sure if it actually does that. It just turns you into a spider hero. I don't know if all spider heroes have reach, but that was a bit of a flavor fail. And investigate should have been peppered throughout this set.
Yeah, they don't believe in investigating, which is very funny.
Spider-Man doesn't have a detective hat, so no.
He's got no the spidey senses don't help him solve crimes. They just help cause mayhem and web sling. I guess that's the it sounds like it sounds like there's a little bit more excitement here. It's still, I don't see this being as big as, Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings and things like that, just because it feels like as a whole out in the universe, it's a little bit more mixed reviews. But I do think, based on, from hearing from Ken, and even hearing, I guess, a little bit of Sed and I's perspective, it feels like for its target audience, for those big Spider-Man fans, it sounds like it's doing what it wanted to do, and kind of pulled in from everywhere. Because Ken, I didn't hear you once today talk about, I can't believe they didn't have this. It feels like they kind of covered their bases to get, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you're going to find something you want here.
Well, I mean, outside of Kingpin, but some things you just gotta let go.
You can't. They had to keep you wanting, for one thing. They got to do this. They got to release that in a secret layer to keep you coming back. They couldn't give you everything.
Like when Kingpin hires the assassin that takes a shot and it misses him but hits Aunt May, and then Peter Parker goes down to the prison and he dog walks Kingpin. He dog walks him. Then he grabs him by his flesh. Mind you, he ain't got no shirt on, and he pulls the skin of Kingpin and pulls him closer. Like, you do realize I can kill. Like, I have been holding back. Okay, I have the higher ground. All right, it just is like, I will beat the dog shit out of you if you. Yeah.
Yes. So we're excited. You know what else we're excited about? Or I'm not, but you two are. MagicCon Atlanta is almost here too. So y'all should definitely be checking that out. I'm still convinced we should hire a random bald person just to walk around with you two and see how many people can't tell the difference. Like, just the first bald person you see walking down the street, just be like, "Here, put a hoodie on."
I'm pretty sure Cowboy Kyle will be there. We just take his hat off.
Yeah, we'll just
okay. You might need to like shrink ray him. He's about a foot taller than I am, so that might give it away.
I mean, he can just sit down the entire time.
That's true. If he's just sitting, and then I think and just have him yell "yo" every like 10 seconds, and bam, solved. Everybody will just think it's me. But yeah, MagicCon Atlanta. Y'all can hype it up since you'll actually be there.
Yeah, Derek won't be there because he'll be milking goats in the desert or whatever the hell he's doing. But outside of that, MagicCon Atlanta, same difference. Be there. We gonna be there because that is our home city, and we gonna be degenerates running around there, with lemon pepper wings and throwing them in the trash can because they disgusted. Anyway, we gonna be there having fun. Bring your decks. Bring your attitude. Bring all the sauce that you want. Word on the street is Joe's gonna be there too. If you know Joe loves to talk about spades and getting his ass whipped. But yeah, we gonna be there. Hopefully, run into a bunch of people, having some fun times, making some memories. And then when I get tired of y'all, I'm gonna go home and lay in my own bed instead of use sheets at a hotel. You filthy bastards. Anyway, we're gonna add on to that. Y'all know
I don't think I can.
Hotels are so.
You got anything?
Hotels are so disgusting. Like I accidentally bare-assed a couch one time, and I had to go take another shower because I was like, I know. And it was an accident too. Like I was went to go pick something, and I tripped over my bag, and I hit the couch, and I was like, all right, I need to go Purell everything because I saw somebody eat. Hold on, give me 2 seconds before we get on. I saw somebody eating a goddamn sandwich. Like they were making a sandwich on a hotel couch. Do you know you called everything? You called bubonic plague. You called mad witch fever. Like everything. You called everything. You're just sitting there, and I was like, bro, you gonna die.
Y'all, Professor Polio is in charge of the health department right now. You can't be raw dogging sandwiches off of couches. That's just not.
Just eating. I'm just saying. Doing that. I'm 99% sure that most of that ain't mayonnaise. But you know what? You live you.
What
were we talking about?
All right. We'll catch y'all next time. What does Spider-Man say when he does stuff? It's morphin' time. Get web, bitch.